Now Windows Vista allows us to restore from two different locations. Now the first location is what we just covered in the previous training video on learning how to back up our computer or files and then restoring them. Second is through the previous versions tab on any file's properties. For example, I have a document here, RSS feeds. When I right click and I go down to properties, I have the previous versions tab. Now if I don't have it, you'll have to turn it on. For example, I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. Click on the Start button, go to the Control panel, click on Backup Your Computer, maximize it, and over here click on Create a Restore Point or Change Settings. Now by default down below you see where it says Automatic Restore Points. If you check any one of these, it'll automatically create a restoring point. So that way, when it creates a restore point, that we can have previous or earlier versions that if we ever make mistakes now, we can revert back to. Now you can either go with an automatic restore point just by simply checking these hard drives below, or force it manually by clicking on the Create button. Now that means you want to make sure you have what you want to manually create a restore point for by checking one of the hard drives. I'll just do it for my C drive and click Create and call it, I don't know, my Spiffy2 restore point. Click Create. Give it 10 or 20 or 30 seconds depending on how much information you have on your computer. Then when it's completed, go ahead and click OK. And in the next training video, I'll show you how to do a complete system restore. Right now we're only talking about versions, but remember how I forced and created a restore point? Well, it does a couple of things. First of all, it creates another version or restore point that we're talking about now, and also it does a system restore that when I click on it, and say I want to restore from an earlier time, now I can choose a recommended or choose a different restore point and click Next. Remember when I named it My Spiffy2? Well, there it is. And again, we'll talk about the system restore in the next training video, but it has a double function here. The function that we're concerned about right now is just versions, making sure it's checked so it has restore points along the way, and then forcing or creating a restore point, clicking Cancel, closing out, and then if I open up my document here, okay, and I come in here and look, it's misspelled. I mean, I've got a .s. Let me back that out, and I come down here and then when I'm finished, I go ahead and save it. I close out and I open it back up and I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody added some more stuff to my document. It was me. What was it like before? And it had like an S here or something. Was that part of the word or is that just a typo? I can't remember. No worries. Go ahead and close out. We can always right click on the document, go down to Properties, click on Previous Versions. Let me drag it up. And I've got two of them. I got the backup and shadow copy because as you recall we did a backup in the previous training video on learning how to do backups here. Now if I select backup, it's going to restore it from my backup, like I said when we went over our backup training video. But when I created this restore point, it's just got a shadow copy that it can restore it without actually pulling it from the backup drive or your backup DVD. In this case I backed it up to my computer. Remember on the E drive? That's for those of you who watched the backup training video. Close out. So I'll do a shadow copy. That's my previous version, or I can do it from the backup drive, but I'll do a shadow copy, click on Restore. Are you sure that you want to restore from the previous version, which was last Friday? I'll say yes. I'll say OK. Click OK. Double click, open up the document. There we go. It's back to its misspelled here, and I'm like, oh, it was just a misspelling. And then all the other stuff that somebody else added, I'm like, oh boy, that was a mistake. I wish I had that back now. Well, it probably would have been wise to have created an additional restore point or force it manually so we had the most recent version before we restored it from an older version. That way we, if we wanted to go back and add that down below that line, add more stuff or whatever else was added, we could bring that back as well. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.